when I complete this assignment that the Lord's asked me to do. But yeah, uh, another counterfeit came. And this one was, again, the enemy studies you. He knows your likes, your dislikes, what's going to get her attention. Oh, I know she likes someone with that rock this type of attire, that talk like that's going to wine and dine her, that's going to do this, that, and the third. So I was introduced to another counterfeit during COVID, and this took me way out of alignment. Now, this was probably one of the biggest, this was the biggest betrayal I've ever experienced in life. This specific narcissist was assigned to my life from Satan himself, and this was deep. This took a lot of cleaning up, and this hit right before my calling, so you can only imagine what his purpose was, to just derail me and discourage me. So now, it's 2023. I am now still a flight attendant for United Airlines, and things become very uncomfortable in the workplace, all because of dating this narcissist and him getting involved with other different individuals. So now the Lord is like asking me to leave my job, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna pay these bills? Like, at this point, no one else is living in my house. I'm living in the house by myself. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna pay this mortgage. What am I gonna do? He's like, I want you to quit your job. I want you to leave everything, and I want you to move to Dallas and get an apartment. Wait, what? So that was really loud in my ear. Of course, praying and fasting to confirm. And if you guys haven't heard my testimony, like the Lord moved me to Dallas story, it is on my page. Maybe I can link it in the bio. But yeah, so I became a full-time entrepreneur once I moved to Dallas, fully depending on the Lord and not myself. And to this day, I'm still a full-time entrepreneur. Now, there's many highs, there's many lows that have come along with this walk. I'm not going to sit here and say it's been all rainbows and butterflies, because it definitely has. It was a lot of consecration. It was a lot of surrendering. There was a lot of healing involved. And there was a lot of praying and fasting. There was a lot of spiritual development. There was a lot of generational curses that I was unaware that were attached to me that needed to be broken. There was a lot of things spiritually that I had no idea was even taking place. And this also led to me having to go no contact with all of my family and all of my past friends. And the Lord just needed me alone so that he can then walk me back through every past season of my life, every past incident, every past hurt, every past heartbreak, and just show me other people's motives. He took me so far back to even middle school. He took me back to my childhood, stuff that I had forgot, things that I didn't even know or remember that took place in my life. And things in middle school, things in high school, friendships, things that were said, betrayal. This was crazy. How, conversations that were had behind my back. He walked me through everything. And he's just like, I know it hurts, baby girl, and I know it's tough, but I am here, and I would never betray you. I would never hurt you. I would never leave you or forsake you. I am not what you've been through, but I was there for you all along the way. All of those times you were so brokenhearted, I was there to pick you up. I sent those messengers. I sent those people to comfort you. I did this, and when you had nothing, I provided for you, and I made a way for you, and I gave you food, and I clothed you. And it was just all these different things. And it's just like, wow. So it was just learning the love of Jesus Christ and opening my eyes to see him in a whole different light. Like the Jesus that I was scared of as a child, that I was so afraid to do anything wrong because he would strike me down and I would die. That's not him. And it was just, I had to relearn and everything over again, as he walked me through these things, as he told me to get into counseling and seek therapy, and he's teaching me what to eat, he's teaching me what to wear. And your body is a temple. I don't want you dressing like that. Your breasts shouldn't be exposed. G-string bikinis, absolutely not. High-waisted bikini, we can do that. Y'all, I was I was the type of girl where I would only cover the nipple and then G-string it. Like, why not? In my head, I was like, I'm nobody's mother, I'm nobody's wife. My body is banging. It's not gonna always be like this, so YOLO. But he had to show me that not only was you doing that, but you wanted validation. You felt good, and you only felt valued when men would send tons of likes and comments under your post and drop money in your Cash App, and oh, let's go out to eat and bring you perfumes and gifts and trips, and that made you feel validated. And when you didn't get that, it's like a high. It's like endorphins. It's like, okay, drop another photo. So there was a lot of things he had to work on me. I was idolizing money. So he took me through a Job season where I literally had, I remember the rich man in the Bible. And he's like, what do I have to do? I've done this in life. I've done that in life. What do I have to do to get to heaven? And he's like, sell all your things and come join me. Oh, and give them to the poor and then come join me. I had to go through that. So, and there were some moments where I was disobedient. I'm like, bruh, what? Not my Gucci bag, not my Louis Vuitton shades. All these things were gifts that I didn't know had spiritual attachment to other individuals that were not meaning good intentions for me. There was witchcraft attached to a lot of the gifts that were given to me, and they were holding me back. This was sneakers. This was so many designer things. This was so many things. It was insane. But he opened my eyes to all of that, and he also shared with me that, do you love these things more than me? Do you love your house more than me? I had to give away my Audi, like A4 car. Do you love your car more than me? Do you love this fur more than me? Do you love all of these things that you own? Do you love them more than me? Because if you can't give them away when I tell you to give them away, then you are now idolizing these things. And God is a jealous God, and he will not allow you to place anything before him. So I remember at one point he told me to give certain things away. And I'm like, what? How much this was worth? I can make this from it. I had so many gowns and ball gowns and stuff that I'd never worn, designer stuff that with tags on it. Like, it was a lot. And I'm just like, oh, let me take it to the store. Let me take it to the store and try to resell it. And I'm up here loading all of this stuff, because keep in mind, I had a whole big 4-bedroom house. I had tons of clothes, y'all. I even had clothes stacked up. Like, I made a closet area in my garage. That's how many clothes I had. So I'm loading all this stuff to, I think I posted a video, actually. It's like a short clip. I'm loading all this stuff to these places to try to resell. And these people playing in my face, bro. Gowns that I spent hundreds on and got it altered to fit my figure, and they'd be like, $16, $8. Stuff with tags on it, $8, $4, $2. I'm like, oh my gosh, Lord. And then he would later tell me, like, I didn't tell you to do that. I didn't tell you to take it there. I told you to give it away. So I'm like driving. At one point, I was driving down the street, y'all, just giving out to homeless people that I would see, popping my trunk, giving out my shoes, nice shoes, heels. I remember I had some signed by Steve Madden himself, because I got my degree in fashion. I don't know if y'all knew that. It's on my page. But anyway, yeah, like, I'm just giving out stuff, giving the stuff out. And then what I couldn't, eventually, I just gave it all to Goodwill. And that's what obedience looks like. It's crazy. Even when he told me to leave my job and I stayed longer than expected, he made it so uncomfortable. He allowed it. He allowed for it to be so uncomfortable for me. Oh, man. It was so uncomfortable. I'm talking coming home crying every single day. Going on my layover crying every single day. Say it. Past the expiration date. I asked you to leave. So just know that there's certain seasons, there's certain times and seasons, and he's going to be very straightforward with you. And if it's that little deadline, it's gonna get a little uncomfortable, because he's trying to push you into your purpose. It's that tough love. Sometimes we can be feeding into a spirit of fear, but the Lord did not give us the spirit of fear. That comes straight from the enemy. And we have to understand that anxiety comes from the enemy, and he has so much greater in store, and he just wants to see you do great, like, to fulfill the needs that he has here on earth. He needs these things accomplished, and he assigned them specifically to you. No one else can say it like you. No one else can do it like you. No one else can maneuver these things like you. There's so many people unknowingly assigned to your life that you are the only one that can get through. Even jumping online telling all my business. Do you know how long it's taken me to even open up about my life? Me being this perfectionist, me being this poised dream girl, like, online, like, even coming online, like, without makeup. Like, I told y'all, it was hard for me to even step out the house unless I looked a certain way. So him just stripping all that down and humbling me and walking me through, like, what's really important. And he doesn't give a hoot and toot about that. There's someone assigned to your life that is on the verge of just unaliving themselves, that they needed that word of encouragement, Sierra. They needed you to obediently jump online and push these words out that I'm telling you to say. There's someone right now dealing with shame, and the enemy's just taunting them that the Lord will never forgive you for the things that you did. The Lord will never love you. And the Lord only wants someone that's perfect and untarnished and kept themselves pure all these years and recites the Bible like this and can read it backwards and can quote every single scripture. And you aren't that chick. You aren't that man. So he doesn't want you, but he needs people like me to jump online and say, no, I was filthy. I was imperfect. I went through a lot in life, and yet the Lord is still using me. He still finds value in me. He didn't discard me. He still loves me. He still is capable of washing away all of my sins. He put them on a cross and died for me. I don't know anyone that would die for me, take a bullet for me, or do any of that. I don't even think my parents would do that. So it's like, he did all of this for me. He made me a new person. He created a whole new identity. I have a whole new identity in Christ now. So the Sierra you knew back then, and you may have screenshot, took some photos off my old IG. I ain't that chick no more. I'm going to look at you like, who? That ain't me. So you have to understand that obedience is imperative. It's definitely important for you to just say what he's asking you to say, do what he's asking you to do, and just walk it out. I had to learn that who could judge me? If I was sitting here to fulfill your will, and that's my sole purpose in life, none of these people matter. None of this matters. None of this material stuff matters. Politics and celebrities and hype and all of this stuff does not matter. What matters is learning your purpose and fulfilling it, and saying what needs to be said, doing what needs to be done, and just helping lead as many souls to Christ. Whether you have to be that living, breathing sacrifice, or you got to look silly on the net, or your name gets shared in group chats. Hey, it is what it is. When I get before my Heavenly Father, job well done, Sierra. That's all I want to hear. That's all I want to hear. Like, Lord, I did this. Job well done. That's what I strive for. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. Are there times where I'm delayed in getting messages out? Absolutely. But back to the story, I definitely had to go through a Job season. 2024 was definitely tough. There was a point where I was serving at church, the church that I was going to, and the children's ministry faithfully for about a year before I was asked to leave. And at one point, all of the utilities are turned off in my house. Water, electricity. I couldn't afford to pay for it, to keep those things on. I got so behind. And it's like winter time in Dallas. And I'm literally I'm still showing up to serve at church. Probably wearing the same stuff over and over. Like, it was crazy. Food was very scarce. And so I was eating a lot of the snacks at church. And it was really tough. It was really tough. I eventually got evicted from that apartment, and now I'm living in the car with my dog and all the things that I was able to fit into my car. And I'm still showing up to serve at church. I'm still showing up because that was my assignment. The Lord asked me to quit my job, go to this church, and serve faithfully for a year. I think I missed one Sunday. And that Sunday, I think the spiritual warfare was intense. It was intense. And that was like close to the beginning of when I first got to the church. So long story short, I remember getting beef jerky and bottles of water for me and my dog for a week, like leaving church. It was really humbling. I definitely would say it drew me closer to the Lord. I would crack the window, the rooftop in my car for my dog so that he could, be comfortable for a couple hours while I was serving in church and then later attending church and then getting in the car. We'd go to coffee shops just to connect the Wi-Fi. I had no service on my phone, couldn't pay my phone bill. Go to McDonald's, sit in the parking lot or just sitting there all day. Do Uber Eats. I would drive around doing Uber Eats. I remember one night I was in a parking lot sleeping and this homeless guy comes banging on my window. And he tried to expose himself to me and it just freaked me out. So I would do Uber Eats until the sun came up. I was sleeping in parking garages until security would come knocking on my window asking me to leave. I would spend all day from the moment a coffee shop opened, a Starbucks opened, a McDonald's opened until it closed, or you get asked to leave just for heat, just for, and just like hiding my dog in my coat. Like it was really intense. So again, there's sides of a testimony that always aren't glamorous. Even reflecting on the Bible, what Stephen had went through. He was stoned. Like what Paul went through. He was imprisoned. All the disciples went through it. So the walk is not going to be completely glamorous. And I think, it's important to give a raw testimony to show the good, bad, and the ugly. But you got to consider it great joy when you are going through and experiencing suffering, because your faith is going to be tested. I definitely grew closer in my faith. It was definitely tested, just like Job was tested in the Bible. If you haven't read that, I highly recommend you read that. It's not that long of a story. Okay, well, yeah, it is kind of long. But you put on audio on the Bible app and let it play out while you're in the shower, winding down for bed. But not once did I curse the Lord. Not once did I give up on him. Ooh, it was tough. It was tough. I remember the freeze hit one night. This is in February. I spent a whole month in the car, y'all, with my dog. And a freeze hit and temperatures were below 0 or something. I don't know, in Dallas. And keep in mind, my family lives in Dallas, and I was not allowed to reach out to them. Had a empty 4-bedroom house in Houston, and I was not allowed to go back. This was all part of my testing, and it almost broke me. I was so cold. Me and my dog were sharing like a blanket, and I had none of my winter clothes because I wasn't prepared. Like, who knows when these things are gonna happen. It was a lot, but I definitely made it. I cried every single day, and the Lord would always walk me through what was being said about me, and it just wasn't pleasant. And I was still adamantly, faithfully posting words of encouragement, and I'm just like, hey everyone, today's gonna be an amazing day. I want you to, and it was just like 2 seconds ago, I was literally on my last leg, like had so many like mental breakdowns in like public restrooms, just crying and angry, and so eventually I was at a coffee shop one day using the Wi-Fi because I'm still trying to get these businesses up and running and these things that the Lord has assigned to me. And this woman, I'm walking back to my car to feed my dog and probably get ready to Uber Eats just for some gas money, I don't know. And this lady stops me in the parking lot at a coffee shop, and she's like, hey, I'm a private landlord. I'm renting out a place. Would you be interested? My head spun so fast. I was just like, yeah, let me follow you now. And within a week, I was blessed with a studio apartment. I ended up having to drain all of my 401k. I've been working since the age of 15, drained every last penny. I paid my last $100 to get my taxes done while I was homeless, and never got my taxes. They lost it. To this day, I have no idea where it's at. And it was supposed to be like over $1,000 refund, close to $2,000 refund. Never got it. And then this year alone, I want to say I've moved, since I left that studio, I've moved like close to 5 to 6 times. I lost count. And it's been quite the challenge. Each and every time, I will say God has made a way every single time. And it's taught me to just depend on him and not others, and not even myself, to just surrender and just trust him. And just to forgive. Throughout this entire testimony, I've had to work deeply with forgiveness. Not only for others that have hurt me and betrayed me, but also for myself. Regretting that I did this, that, and the third, and wishing oh, what if I would have done this differently? And I had to learn to forgive myself. And it's still an everyday battle. It's still something that you may have to ongoingly just include it in your prayer every single day, because it may sneak back up on you. Just pray for your heart posture to not change. Learning to sacrifice, learning to die to your flesh every single day, because there's many temptations out there. And just my overall healing journey in itself, and just rediscovering the new me as you age, as you grow deeper in your walk, as you see so many people's lives moving expeditiously, or what looks expeditiously, yet you are still in this wilderness season, learning and growing closer to the Lord and getting what it is that you were supposed to learn from this experience while in the wilderness. And just trying to not compare your walk with anyone else's. It's a lot. It's definitely a lot. But all of these things that I will say has drawn me closer to the Lord. And I pray my testimony is able to help someone that may be fearful of obediently putting out their testimony, because someone's going to be able to relate to mine. There are people individually assigned to my story that it can relate. And I hope it blessed you. I hope you were able to receive something from it. And I just pray you all have a beautiful, blessed 2026 new year. And you get every goal accomplished. And you just soar and you draw closer in your faith. And you have a sister in Christ. Feel free to email me. Feel free to comment. And I pray you all have a beautiful new year. God take care.